Welcome to China Truths. Today we will bring you the following stories. Canadian MPs unanimously reject China's claim that UN resolution grants sovereignty over Taiwan. Ottawa orders Canadian TikTok offices to close. French families sue TikTok over children's exposure to harmful content. Now, let's dive into the details. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Canadian MPs unanimously reject China's claim that UN resolution grants sovereignty over Taiwan. Canadian MPs have unanimously rejected China's claim that a 1971 UN resolution gives China sovereignty over Taiwan. The MPs backed a motion presented by Bloc Québécois MP Yves Perron in the House of Commons on November 6, opposing China's claim that a 1971 United Nations resolution establishes China's sovereignty over the island of Taiwan. Speaking in French, Perron presented the motion, which said the House of Commons acknowledged that the UN resolution of October 25, 1971, does not establish the sovereignty of the People's Republic of China, PRC, over Taiwan, nor does it determine the future of Taiwan nor its participation in UN agencies or international organizations. Perron said the motion, referencing UN Resolution 2758, reflected consultation with the other political parties and that there was unanimous consent to support it. Liberal MP Judy Scrow seconded the motion, allowing it to proceed to discussion. The motion is rooted in the context of Chinese history and a turn in the Chinese Civil War of 1949, when the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, gained control of mainland China and established the People's Republic of China, PRC, replacing the Republic of China, ROC, led by the nationalist government. Following this defeat, the nationalist government retreated to the island of Taiwan, where it continues to use the name Republic of China as its official state name. Most countries did not immediately recognize the PRC at the time of its establishment, due in part to Cold War dynamics. The ROC continued to hold one of the 5 permanent seats on the UN Security Council until 1971, when UN Resolution 2758 was passed. The resolution recognized PRC representatives as the only lawful representatives of China to the United Nations, thereby removing the ROC government's representation and expelling it from the UN and its affiliated agencies. However, the resolution did not establish Taiwan as part of the PRC, nor did it address Taiwan's international status. MP's rejection of the PRC's claim over Taiwan follows a recent statement by Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi at the UN General Assembly in September, in which he claimed that UN Resolution 2758 recognizes only one Chinese government and that Beijing is committed to reunifying Taiwan. China has threatened to use military force to achieve its goal of controlling Taiwan and has repeatedly deployed military aircraft into Taiwan's Air Defense Identification Zone, ADIZ, and naval vessels into nearby waters. China has ramped up its military actions since Taiwanese President Lai Ching-te's inauguration on May 20. China conducted punitive drills around the island, according to Harry Ho Jensang, Taiwan's representative to Canada, who testified before the House Defense Committee on September 26. Since then, Chinese warplanes and warships have been intruding into our ADIZ and nearby waters, sometimes crossing the median line of the Taiwan Strait, a provocative move equally familiar to our neighboring countries, Sang said. Perron condemned China's exploitation of the UN resolution to justify its aggressive actions towards the island. China is manipulating the meaning of this UN resolution to legitimize its military actions in Taiwan's airspace and territorial waters, Perron wrote in a French statement as a caption on YouTube, where he shared a video of his presentation of the motion in the House. In short, Chinese leader Xi Jinping is using the UN resolution to endorse his intimidation and claim that Taiwan belongs to him, he added. Independent MP Kevin Vong echoed the view. It's time for Taiwan to take its rightful place on the world stage as an equal partner and thriving democracy, he said on the social media platform X. Canada is not the only country to reject China's use of the resolution to assert its claim over Taiwan. In August, the Australian Senate passed a similar motion, led by Senators David Fawcett and Deborah O'Neill. While Taiwan currently maintains official diplomatic relations with just 12 countries, it has robust trade, cultural, and unofficial ties with Canada and many countries around the world. Citing Canada's growing economic, cultural, and interpersonal ties with Taiwan, Perron said, "We continue to join our voice with our partners to support the meaningful participation of Taiwan in international organizations, such as the International Civil Aviation Organization and the World Health Organization." Ottawa orders Canadian TikTok offices to close. The Canadian government has ordered the company that owns Chinese social media app TikTok to close up its Canadian offices over national security concerns, although it hasn't banned use of the app in the country. Minister of Innovation, Science, and Industry François-Philippe Champagne made the announcement in a statement on November 6. As a result of a multi-step national security review process, which involves rigorous scrutiny by Canada's national security and intelligence community, the Government of Canada has ordered the wind-up of the Canadian business carried on by TikTok Technology Canada Incorporated, Champagne said. He said the government was taking action over specific national security risks related to TikTok's Chinese parent company, ByteDance Ltd. The decision was based on the information and evidence collected over the course of the review and on the advice of Canada's security and intelligence community and other government partners, the minister said. Ottawa stopped short of banning the TikTok app, saying it was a personal decision for Canadians to make. It is important for Canadians to adopt good cybersecurity practices and assess the possible risks of using social media platforms and applications, including how their information is likely to be protected, managed, used and shared by foreign actors, as well as to be aware of which countries' laws apply, Champagne said. In 2023, the Canadian government banned TikTok from government communication devices, saying the app presented a risk to privacy and security. The U.S. government has gone a step further, saying TikTok will be banned from mobile app stores and web hosting services unless the app's China-based parent company, ByteDance, sells TikTok to an American company by January 19, 2025. TikTok is challenging the order in court. The company says it will also launch a legal challenge against the latest Canadian order. Shutting down TikTok's Canadian offices and destroying hundreds of well-paying local jobs is not in anyone's best interest, and today's shutdown order will do just that, the company said in a media statement. The U.S. FBI Director Christopher Wray has said the app poses a national security concern. They include the possibility that the Chinese government could use it to control data collection on millions of users or control the recommendation algorithm, which could be used for influence operations if they so chose, or to control software on millions of devices, which gives it opportunity to potentially technically compromise personal devices, he said in 2022. In March, a group of Ontario school boards filed a court challenge against several social media companies, including TikTok, saying the company's apps have disrupted student learning and the education system. The boards, which include the Toronto District School Board, the Peel District School Board, the Toronto Catholic District School Board, and the Ottawa Carleton District School Board, are suing for more than $4 billion Canadian dollars. More than a dozen states in the U.S. have come together to sue TikTok for exploiting and harming young users with its addictive platform. A coalition of 14 U.S. attorney generals filed the lawsuit in early October. French families sue TikTok over children's exposure to harmful content. After two French 15-year-olds took their own lives, families are suing TikTok in the first group lawsuit against the tech giant in Europe. Attorney Laure Boutron-Marmion, representing 7 families, told broadcaster France Info on November 4 that the families alleged TikTok's algorithm recommended children videos promoting taking one's own life, self-harm, and eating disorders. The parents want TikTok's legal liability to be recognized in court, Boutron-Marmion said. This is a commercial company offering a product to consumers who are, in addition, minors. They must, therefore, answer for the product's shortcomings. The French lawsuit is the latest of several that have been brought against China-owned app for allegedly harming minors. TikTok has previously publicly stated that it believes its app is safe for underage users and that it has taken several steps to protect them. However, the app came under fire last month when improperly redacted court filings in the U.S. of internal TikTok documents revealed that TikTok executives knew of several risks and negative outcomes the app had on minors, and took steps not to remedy them, but instead to improve the app's public image. A bipartisan group of attorneys general from 14 U.S. states sued TikTok last month after a more than 2-year investigation, alleging that the app misled the public with claims it was safe when it had intentionally designed the app to be addictive to youth. In a separate lawsuit, the U.S. Justice Department and Federal Trade Commission accused TikTok of violating the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act by collecting, using, or disclosing personal information from children under the age of 13 without parental consent. Last month, Texas separately sued TikTok, alleging the app violated a similar, new state law, securing children online through parental empowerment. Parents in the United States have also sued TikTok. In 2022, multiple lawsuits came after young children were shown and participated in a blackout challenge promoted on TikTok. Tawana Anderson sued after her 10-year-old daughter Nyla died in December 2021, and the lawsuit was revived in appeals court earlier this year. Separately, the parents of 8-year-old Lalani Erica Renee Walton and 9-year-old Ariani Jaylene Arroyo sued TikTok, accusing the app of recommending the unacceptably dangerous video in the girls' personalized feeds. The Social Media Victims Law Center, which helped the parents file their legal action, has filed several other lawsuits on behalf of youths who were harmed or died after using TikTok. TikTok has filed to dismiss such cases, but many have moved forward this year. In the U.S. state of Iowa, a district court ruled that TikTok has to face a lawsuit accusing it of violating the Consumer Fraud Act, with the state alleging that it acted deceptively to obtain a 12+ rating in the App Store to allow minors to sign up for the service. In California, a district court similarly ruled that TikTok, along with Facebook and other social media companies, must face hundreds of complaints filed by school districts accusing the platforms of harming children. According to a 2023 Pew Research survey, 62% of adults under the age of 30 use TikTok, up 3 times from the year prior. A similar rate of 63% of teens use TikTok, with 58% saying they use it daily and 17% who are on the app almost constantly. In addition to broad pushback against the app over children's safety concerns, lawmakers and intelligence officials have voiced national security concerns. This resulted in a law passed earlier this year that would require TikTok to cut ties with the Chinese government. TikTok and parent company ByteDance are challenging the law in court, with ByteDance arguing the Chinese government will not allow it to sell the app.